Welcome, dear all. So today we start with the next chapter in cost accounts, the overheads, the PPT of the video tutorial of the whole chapter of overheads have already been shared. But now today we will be doing all the numerical aspects. So the numerical aspects parts, the thing is, till now you know that we prepare cost sheet, and in cost sheet we write the direct cost component, that is the direct material, direct wages and direct expenses. We have the prime cost and then we add the overheads. Now these overheads are further the factory overheads, the office and administration overheads, the selling and distribution overheads, and then we get the total cost. So then we add profit and we find the selling price of the product. Now during this phase, this cost is direct, so it is directly allocated to a particular product. But what about the overheads part? How these overheads are calculated? This is the main aspect which we are going to cover today, that how these overheads are charged. So coming up to the next, I think the background behind this is clear to you. So the next thing is that in an organization, there are three sort of departments. If we say there are certain departments which are known as production departments, then there are certain which are service departments, and then the one which are partly producing departments. So if I want to write down certain example of production departments, you can see that the department which is manufacturing any product, that is converting the raw material to finished good, they are the one which are involved in it. So the cold mill, rolling mill, then it can be any hardening or polishing or grinding activity, anything could be covered over here in the production department. Then we are on to the service department. These departments are not engaged directly with the production or conversion of raw material into finished goods, but their services are essential in order for an organization to work in a proper order. Now, example is for manufacturing, you need the raw material is to be converted into finished good. But where is the raw material being stored? It is stored in the stores. So the stores department, and then we need to find out the cost of the product and the whole these things. Who is doing all that? That is the cost accounting department. So similarly, another example can be any dispensary, the personnel department of the organization. They are all covered under the service department category. Then we come to the next one, that is the partly production. They are not the ones which are doing this task, that is manufacturing or converting raw material into finished good, but they are responsible, let's say, for the upkeep, repairs and maintenance department could be taken up into it. So if they feel that anything needs repair or a part of a particular item needs to be produced in order to replace it, so they do all these parts. So we can take it the example of the repair and upkeep of furniture and fittings in the organization, or they are the ones which I can better say that the carpentry shop, for example, within an organization that is doing partly producing activity. Now, when we know that these are the certain departments, but who is the one who is supposed to make the product? That is the production department. So the first thing is, step one says that I should know partly producing department. I am also taking into, basically I'm dividing into two only for the purpose of numericals. So step one says that I should know the overheads of production service department separately. So I want to know about these expenses of the production and the service department, so what method I am going to use? The thing is, first is I will prefer allocation. Allocation means direct charging of the cost. The cost is directly allocated to a particular cost center or a particular cost unit, then that is allocation. So that we can directly correlate that it is this product. Suppose in production department I am only making one product, that is X. So I know that a particular item, the manufacturing overheads and all are being incurred. So I know I have to put under X. I will not be putting it under the service department category. So this is direct that we are allocating the things. But what is the next one? Next is there are certain expenses. Let's say the example is like rent. Now within an organization, the whole organization is on taking the premises on rent, and now within that organization the production departments are also working and the service departments are also working. So this rent needs to be, it cannot be allocated, it will be apportioned. So apportionment means that we are going to subdivide this cost on certain equitable basis. So certain equitable basis, what that basis will be, for example, if I want to say rent, then the rent can be on the basis of floor area. So similarly, there are certain other examples. Let's say I want to apportion fire insurance charges. So fire insurance charges, if this is being done for the capital items, the machinery, land, building and all, then in that case it is going to be on the basis of value of capital items. And if this is for the stores, then it is on the basis of the value of stores, not the value of goods in stock. Similarly, if we want to divide expenses of, let's say, certain welfare expenses. Now welfare expenses of course are incurred for the employees. So what is the equitable base? Equitable base is number of employees. So what we are going to think is the best base which is to be used in order to distribute. So in other words, I can say apportionment is nothing but its distribution is a certain ratio of the expenses so that they are added into the production and the service departments. But mind it, this is just only step 1. What is step 2? Step 2 is I have to sell X product. Now if I only add up the cost of production department into it, let's say it comes out to be certain figure XXX, or I can say 50,000 or 5 lakh. Okay, let us take 5 lakh. Suppose it is certain that X product cost is 5 lakh. I have written. But on the other side, I know that there is a service department cost also. Service department cost is, maybe we can say it is just 50,000. But suppose in this cost of product, let me show you. Here, I add certain profit, I sell the product. What will happen? Every year I am ignoring the cost which we are incurring for the service department. So it means you are not following the true accounting principles. You are not taking up the whole cost into concern in order to find out the selling price of the product. So something has to be done that these expenses are also to be taken over here. Because if I am taking example of only one service department, then it's very easy. I will be taking it directly over here and the total cost will be 5,50,000. I'll be adding the profit and I will be finding out the selling price. But in organizations, there are many products. There are X, Y, Z products, and then there are many service departments. There are many production departments. So how that service department expenses are to be added into the various production departments, this is step 2 part. So if I want to give a name to step 1 and step 2, so I will write down that step 1 is concerned with apportionment. Apportionment of overheads So step 1 name is apportionment, and what is step 2 means reapportionment. So step 1 is apportionment, and what is step 1 is apportionment, and what is step 2? Step 2 is reapportionment. So with a little small example that how we are going to do, let me show you the numerical which I will be taking up as a base. In order to explain you, I'll be just taking two things out of it. So let's say if this is the question. So it is written that we have to divide to the various departments on equitable basis. And just see, we are given with these charges. So let us take, suppose they have said that the modern company is dividing into 4 departments, A, B and C, and but the D is a service department, only one service department over here. Then there is rent, then there is repair, depreciation. These are the actual cost for the period which is given. And then there are certain data available, information available. Now I told you that how we are going to take rent. Let us find out a suitable base, that is area. Repairs to plant, it can be value of plant. Depreciation of plant, again value of plant. Then employees, this is given employers liability for insurance, then number of employees. Supervision again of employees only, so again number of employees. Then we have fire insurance in respect of stock, then value of stock, power, horsepower, light, find out what we can use it for light. So light, if light points are given, we should have taken that, but now no light points are given, so we can take area. That just area zyada hoga, we need more lights, so accordingly. Now this data is given to us. Now how we are going to find out, how we are going to apportion? Please, step 1 is, suppose I said rent. Rent is to be divided. And this is the base which is given to us, area. So we will be adding these. Step 1 is add this area, 1500 plus 1100 plus 900 plus 500. Step 1. Step 2 is we will divide 1000 with the total we have over here, and then whatever the per square meter amount comes to us, we will be dividing with, we'll be multiplying with A, B, C and D in order to find out the overheads for particular departments. Now whatever I have said, let me show you how it is to be done. Now let's say that there is what is written. I'll be copying it the same way so that you are able to understand. Department B, then department C and department D. Mind it, this D department is a service department, and these all departments are production departments. So we are given the floor area, that is the in square meter, and they have told that this is 1500, this is 1100. This is taking this much space. Department C's space is given, and then department D's, this is D space is also mentioned, and we are given the total rent. The rent given was rupees 1000. I can show you. This rent given was rupees 1000. So now I need to divide this 1000 in all these departments. So what is the thing? Step 1, I told you, step 1 is, what should I do? I should total this up. Total all. So when I total, it comes out to be 4000 square meter. So this is 4000 square meters. And step 2 is what we have to do? Divide the rent, the thing which I have to apportion, the cost which I have to apportion, 1000 divided by the step 1. That is, we will be getting that the answer is 0.25 paisa. So this is 25 paisa. So rupee 0.25 per square meter. Now step 3, What I have to do? When I have got this, what I am going to do? I am going to find out overheads for department A, B, C, D. क्योंकि अभी तो सिर्फ square पता है, area पता है, but what is the rent for that? I will be multiplying it with this. So 1500 into, I'll be writing it over here for this so that we are very much clear. 1500 into 0.25. So similarly over here 1100 into 0.25, then 900 into 0.25, and then for D it is 500 into 0.25, which we have calculated. So we will be doing it, finding it out. So 1500 into 0.25, what does that mean? That means 375. Then over here we have 275, 225, and then let us do, so this is 125. So this is the thing which we want to calculate for rather all the expenses of overheads which are given in the question. So these all, just see, I'll be preferring the same thing, but I cannot do such detailed working notes for everything. The things need to be done on calculator. So only performa we need to prepare. So how the things are to be solved and shown, we will be writing down primary overheads distribution summary. I am preparing this. This is the first step. And here we will be writing item. The item, that is the item of expense, which we have to apportion. Then the departments. Now we have, I'm leaving certain thing over here because here better is that we write down that what is the basis of apportionment of the item. So which is the best base I am using? For example, just now item was rent and we use the best base, that was the floor area. And then total amount, you know, the totals are required. For example, I did the total over here. So similarly, the total amount of this rent which I was dividing, that is also I have to write down. So over here we can write down that floor area, basis of apportionment is floor area, and what I calculated 0.25 per square meter. So 0.25 per square meter. I use this basis as apportionment. And how I calculated, you can show this much part in the working note if you want. Only this much part, that is this step. This step can only be shown in the working note. Rest, nothing is required. So it is 0.25 per of square kilometer, and then we have production departments, and then we have the service department. Production department was A, B and C, and service department was D. So now the values which we calculated, this you can do it on calculator rather. After you have calculated this part, then this can be done in the calculator, just the calculator part. So I'll be doing one more in order to explain, and similarly all expenses have to be taken up and then the total have to be done for the primary distribution summary. Let me take one more item in order to explain. Now suppose the next item is, let's look at the question. The next item is repairs to the plant, and this is 600, and for repairs, which is the best base? This is repair to the plant, so there is the value of the plant. Now value of plant is given to us. This is the value of plant which is given. So the best base is value of plant. I will be taking it again. Let us see. So repairs to plant, it is total amount which I have to divide is 600, and over here it is which thing? Value of plant. Now what I need to do? I need to calculate first of all that this step, that what is the total value which is given in the question. So the total value given in the question is, it is 24,000 for A, then plus 18,000 for B, then we add, for C it is given 12,000, and for D it is given 6,000. So just see, I'm adding it side by side. So 6,000 for D. So what I get is 60,000. So I got 60,000. You can do the cross checking. It is 24,000 plus 18,000 plus 12,000 and plus 6,000, and just see, this is what I have done on the calculator. The amount is 60,000. So now, which is the next step? What I have to do? 600 divided by this 60,000 total. So 600 divided by 60,000. Let us do that. So 600 divided by 60,000. So I am getting what? 0.01 on the calculator. This I will be writing it over here. So it is rupee 0.01. Okay. So value of plant multiplied by the value of plant. Rather, it should be kept in percentage. We can keep it certain things when we cannot find out that, like for example, per square meter, I can even use the percentage part, that is convert this thing into percent, that is multiplied by 100, and this is 1%, right? So I can write down over here that this is 1% of value of plant. This is the best way to write. Instead of 0.01, you need to do certain things, certain improvisation yourself. So 1% of plant, and now just see 1%. 1% of 24,000 I'll be calculating. So it is what? It is 240, then 180, then 12 and 1000 ka karenge, so it is 120, and then over here 6,000 I'll be doing, so it is just 60. So this thing I am going to write it over here. So it is 240, then 180, then 120 and 60. So similarly you continue doing for the other end, then we have the total overheads calculated. So I hope the primary distribution part is clear. The next we will be starting with the reapportion. Primary is rather very easy, just you have to find out the best base, and just see, here I have used per square kilometer. Here when I was writing 0.0101, so what to write? Per repair, per value of plant, but that is not sounding correct, no? So instead what I did, I multiplied by 100 that value and converted into percentage. So it came out to be 1% of value of plant. So prefer this method. So keep it up and you will surely be able to understand the primary distribution overhead summary. Do this for time being, and then I'll return with the next part, that is reapportionment, and that is a very important, rather the simultaneous equation method of that is very important for examinations point of view also. So thanks a lot, take care, have a nice day.